Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Yappin About College. Today, we are talking about all cash for college, all topics related to finances in college. I'm joined again by my friend Kim here. Kim, how are you doing today?
Hi, everyone. I'm doing well and so excited to be here with all of you once again. We're going to be discussing everything on the topic of cash for college. We're going to be giving you guys the best tips on how to save money and where to work in college and so much more.
Yes, just quick announcements real quick before we get started and jump into all of our topics today. We are giving away some prizes today. So if you guys do want to get entered in for our prizes, which we'll be giving away at the end, make sure to text hashtag FAFSA to 335577 to get entered in.
Yes, be sure to send any questions you want us to answer, and feel free to also leave any comments in the chat. We'll be sure to get to all of you. And if you want to be entered for today's giveaway, just be sure to text hashtag FAFSA to 335577 with any of your questions. And we also want to reiterate that you can always text this chat. So it's not only available just during this live, but we're always happy to help.
Yes, Carmel, you can't hear. Can you hear us now? Are we sounding okay to everyone in the chat? Can you guys hear us?
Hi, everyone.
Oh, they're working.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, one final announcement before we get started. Get Schooled also still has a financial aid completion scholarship running until August 15th, 2 days from now. So make sure you guys go apply to that. File your FAFSA as soon as you can. If you guys file it pretty soon, you guys can go apply to that scholarship and get maybe another $5,000 that you can put towards college.
Yes, be sure to not miss out on any money, y'all. Apply to as many scholarships as possible while you have free time. I know we're all getting geared up to start school, so just be sure that you guys make sure to sign up for all the scholarships you can. And we're going to give you so many more options to be sure you get some cash for college.
Yes, check out that QR code. We do have it on our website as well if you just head to getschooled.com. And then, check it out. Apply to as many scholarships as you guys can. And let's get started with today's topic. Today, we're going to be talking about cash for college, everything about finances. But before we completely jump into that, we have a little mini game and a little guest, our friend Brendan here. Brendan, how are you? Welcome.
Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? I'm good. I'm great. I'm just going to get centered in the screen. There I go. Kim, Don, how are you?
Oh,
doing good.
So good. And we're happy to see you again. I know for many of you who joined our FAFSA Live, Brendan is now a familiar face. And honestly, we just love Brendan. He gives us the greatest tips and he's super friendly. So make sure you drop in your questions.
Absolutely. I'm here excited to talk about more things than just the FAFSA, but of course, we'll definitely touch upon that.
All right, Brendan, I know you got a little game for us to start off today. You want to get that started for us?
All right. So, we got a little game. It's called Price is Right College Edition. And so in this game, I'm going to ask Don and Kim to sort of guess the price of different things that you might need for college. And so there's going to be a variety of different things. Some you're going to be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. I know that's a college cost. Other things you might be like, wait a second, that's a college cost? I didn't know that was one. But we're going to guess. If they go over, we're doing some Price is Right rules. If they go over, they lose. So it's basically the closest number under the amount. All right, y'all ready to get started?
Yeah, let's see. Kim, let's make it a little competition between us. Let's see how many we get over and how many we can stay under and get close to. All right, make sure to keep track of your score.
I know the chat has my back. So everyone, Team Kim or Don, pick your choices. Make sure you make the right choice. Okay, I know Team Kim has got this.
Yeah, and if you have some guesses you want to put in the chat, go ahead. We'll try and keep an eye on there as well. All right, first thing on here, we got some toiletry items. We got shampoo, we got conditioner, we got some toothpaste, some hand sanitizer. These are all things, they usually just show up. But now you're in college, they might not show up anymore, right? So you got to go to the store and buy them. So Don, Kim, do you have any guesses?
Kim, you want to go first or I could go first?
Okay, I can go first.
Okay, you go.
Let's see. I know I have B supporting me in the chat. Thank you, chat. Thank you. Okay, let's see. I'm going to guess in today's economy, we're looking at a good $25.
Oof, $25. Are we
Yeah,
just
That's a good guess. That's a good guess. We'll see.
all right?
Don, did you have a guess there?
Oh, let me get my guess in. Okay, let's see. One tube of toothpaste, one hand sanitizer, and two body washes. Right. I'm gonna go like $14.
All right, we got 25 and 14. A little tip. These
Oh!
are 13, 27. These are Midwest prices. So for all of you on the coast,
Oh,
Okay.
I use some
Now we
Midwest prices.
Midwest, because
Yeah.
my Target they spike up those prices.
Carmel, look at that.
Yeah,
12.
Carmel got 12.
Carmel's
Exactly.
right
So
under.
Carmel would actually win here with Price is Right rules. All right, and these are all the things, when I went to college, I was like, oh, I've got toothpaste, I've got shampoo. Guess what? They run out. The stuff I brought from home ran out, and I had to go to the store, buy some new stuff, and I was going every month.
Right. College was the first time I bought a lot of these things too, to be honest.
Yeah, and so it's just one of those things. It's a recurring cost that you see day in and day out. And so it's important to just keep that in mind and think about, like, what do I normally spend money on? What are the things I'm used to having? And then making sure you're budgeting for that when you're heading to college. All right, let's go to the next.
And I just wanted to add that most dentists recommend that you replace your toothbrush every 3 months. So that's definitely something we all need to remember, and especially college students.
Yeah, don't be slacking off. Take care of your teeth, guys.
Yes.
All right, so this next one, these are meal plans. And so I looked at a study that showed sort of the average cost of meal plans across the country. So this isn't one specific college, just the average cost of 3 meals a day on a college campus.
Oh.
So what do you think it could cost?
Okay, I'll go first this time since you went first last time, Kim. Let me think. Average all 3 meals, average college cost for 3 meals. Oh, I'll say like $48.
And so Don, just know we're talking about for the full year.
Oh, for the full year. Oh, gotcha.
Cost, yeah.
Oh man, I have no idea then. This is gonna be tough. Full year. Yeah, I can't do math that fast. Let's just throw out a random number. I'll say $730.
Oh dear.
Hopefully you can do a little better than me, Kim. I have no guess for this.
This is really hard.
We've got some good guesses in the chat. We got Carmel guessing 4,000, V guessing 3,000. We got 4,500, 2,000.
I'm gonna go with 2,500.
All right, so those are both good guesses. 4,500 is the average meal plan cost, and so we're talking 3 meals a day. So that's a big cost.
It is.
For paying for meals. I hope the meals look as good as this picture, though, right?
Right?
Wow.
These meals they look really good.
Yeah, you guys are cushioning in the chat. I was way off.
Yeah, the chat's really.
I might be starving this year.
Knocking out of the park. Don's prices might be in the past a little bit. 730. I'll take that for 3 meals a day for a full year.
Yes, and you know what's crazy, especially as college students, it's so easy to choose the fast food route and just the easiest, unhealthiest route sometimes. But we also have to remember to take care of ourselves, and it's unfortunate that sometimes fast food is the most accessible and cheapest sometimes.
True.
Yeah, and I will say, depending on your college, some of the colleges have like all-you-can-eat meal plans, and other colleges are you pay per item. And so depending on your college, it can look really different in terms of what food you have access to and what food you're able to get. The first college I went to was all you could eat whenever you clocked into the dining hall. And so you would eat as much as possible. In the second college I went to, different things at different prices. And eating healthy was a bit more expensive than going with sort of the cheeseburger for dinner every night and things like that.
Exactly. Yeah, I see that George Sotelo commented cup of noodles. And yes, that's definitely easy, unhealthy, but also very accessible to lots of college students.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to this next one. So, they're starting to cut down on sharing usernames and passwords for streaming services. So something to be aware of. If you're not in the same house with Netflix, they're going to be like, are you sure you want to use this you need to log in again. You have to go home and log in on your home network. And so in order to get access to these, sometimes there's a cost associated. So we've got the Disney bundle and we've got Netflix, both with ads. I'll say we're college students here, right? So what do you think the cost of these two streaming services is?
Ooh.
My apologies for my dog barking.
Oh, hello there.
You're going to start to trigger my dog, Brandon. Let's see. Wow.
Ooh, is this the current prices with them raising it?
I looked it up just last week, so it should be current prices, and I think they're the same across the country. So it's not, there's no Midwest prices here.
Right. Okay, I think I'm definitely gonna get some help from the chat. Christina said Disney and Hulu bundle is $30. Okay, that seems realistic. And Netflix $20. Okay, I'm gonna go with Christina. Okay, we're team girl right now. And I'm going to go with 50.
Okay.
50 a bit of a luxury. This is a lot.
Is this the no ads bundle, or is there
there's ads. There's as many ads as they'll allow.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hold on. I take back my guess. 35. Last guess.
All right. Kim's saying 35. Don, what do you think?
Okay, I'll go 38.
38. The folks in the chat, y'all are much better guessers than Don and Kim. 21.98 for these two. So they both went over. I see a 17, a 15. So Lupita and V, really good guesses. So yeah, I think it's just be aware of like the different things that you're used to having at home can start costing money in college because you can't share. I'll be honest though, when I was in college, we didn't have streaming services, so we were getting DVDs from the library.
Right. Yeah, little VCRs back then.
Not that long ago. Not VCRs.
I'm just playing.
All right, should we do one more and then get going?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Else?
Does anyone in chat remember what was that one rental place? Hollywood. What was it called?
I remember Blockbuster.
Hollywood Blockbuster. Video. That's right, Blockbuster. There's one more. That was Hollywood Video. There you go. That's the other Blockbuster and Hollywood Video.
Those were the days. That's where I would spend my weekend evenings looking for movies. All right, so this next one, a computer, right? Keyboard and mouse. You need a computer to do work in college. A lot of stuff is just online nowadays, and you want to bring a computer to class, you need a laptop. And you might want to get a fresh new one for college, right?
Right.
So what do y'all think this computer costs? And mouse and keyboard. Do you have any guesses here?
Oh, that's hard.
I'm gonna guess $850.
$850. Okay.
I'll go with like 600.
600. All right, we got George in the chat with 700. Marie with 1100. So we've got some guesses there. You know, I looked up best computers for college students, and this was one of them. I can't remember the brand, but it was $382 with this keyboard and mouse. So actually a pretty good deal, I would think. And so I was surprised what a good deal it was compared to what I paid for my computer when I was in college.
Right. They're getting cheaper and cheaper now. A lot of students are also using tablets, like iPads a lot.
Right.
I feel like those don't go for too much either.
Yeah. The other thing to know is a lot of companies will run student discount deals. And so right around the time, folks, right around the time, like now, I guess, which is probably why it was so cheap, they'll run deals to get laptops and other things that they know students need for a lower cost. The key thing that I remember is like you want to make sure whatever computer you're getting makes sense for like you and your major and what you're doing. So like you probably wouldn't want to get this computer if you were a graphic design major. I don't think this is running Adobe or anything like that. But if you know you're just going to be writing Word documents, using Excel a little bit and things like that, a Chromebook can work and things like that can be a little bit cheaper. But if you need a more advanced computer, it's just good to know, sort of match the computer to what you need as a college student.
Yeah, that's some good advice.
Yeah, that's really great advice, Brendan. I think sometimes we just see some things that, like, for example, like an iPad, right? I'm a student in business, and me, it doesn't seem that necessary because I work with math, and my sister, on the other hand, is a biology major, so she really needs to be using, a lot of that creativity to draw and charts, especially when it comes to the human body and everything. So for me, an iPad didn't seem like the right decision, but for her, I can see how that can be so helpful. So it's definitely about making the right choices for you as a student.
And something that you should know, if you need to use financial aid to pay for your computer, and let's say it's more than what's included in the cost of attendance for your college, you can talk to your financial aid office and see if they're able to adjust the amount allocated so that you're able to get some additional funding to help cover some of those technology costs. So they know that the cost of attendance for college is just an average. And so sometimes you can get them to adjust that and you're able to access some additional financial aid because they're able to make that adjustment. So it's always worth an ask to see if there's some additional money available. That might mean covering it with maybe they have a scholarship or a grant that they can add on, but it also might be just like accessing some loans if you have to, so that you have the right tools to succeed as a student. So, because that's the most important part, is just having the right stuff so that you can make sure that you're successful as a student.
Yeah, those are some really great tips. So thank you so much, Brendan. Well, since today's topic is cash for college, let's run through some quick tips for students on finances. Brendan, can you please join us in sharing some tips and how we can, make the most of our money while we're in college?
Absolutely. So do you want me to get started?
Yes.
So the first tip, filing your FAFSA. So the easiest way to get money to help you pay for college, which I think everyone wants, right? Everyone wants money to help you for college. Filing the FAFSA is the key to unlocking that financial aid. Most colleges require it to get financial aid from your state, from the federal government. You need to file the FAFSA. And so that's the number one step, I would say, is making sure to file that.
Yes, go file your FAFSA, guys. Don't sleep on it. Brenda, I heard the upcoming 25-26 FAFSA is opening up soon. Is that true?
Soon is, soon's a relative term. If we're talking about since I've been to college, soon would be the right word. But what we've heard is the 25-26 FAFSA is going to open up by December 1st. And so a little bit later than it usually does, but better than this previous 2025 FAFSA. And so that's good to know, because you need to file a FAFSA every year. And so just knowing when it's going to open. Of course, if you need help, you can text in 335577. I also want to note that the 24-25 FAFSA has been a little bit of a challenge this year, and you might still be navigating it. And so if you do need support, texting FAFSA Live to 335577, someone can try and help you figure out what's going on and try and get you through the form, because we're still hearing at the org I work at, You Aspire, we still hear from students every day where they're like, I need some help. I'm trying to figure this out. The form's not working right for me. What do I need to do? And we're trying to help them get through that. So if you're still experiencing that, I just want you to know, you're not alone and there's people to help.
Yeah, thank you, Brendan. All right, Kim, you want to give us a second tip for finances in college?
Yes, of course. It's super important to set financial goals. I think having a finance plan is the best when it comes to budgeting for college. So definitely find where you need to allocate your finances and move from there. And I know that Carmel in the chat has a question. She's asked, when should we be refiling for FAFSA?
That's a great question. And so every year you want to file the FAFSA. The timing, if I'm a student currently in college, I would probably aim to file it as soon as I can. Colleges have different deadlines. So if the FAFSA opens December 1st, I would probably log in sometime in December If I need my parent or parents to be on the FAFSA, I'd let them know, and I'd try and get it filed before January at some point. Now, deadlines will vary, and so if you don't file it that soon, that's probably fine. What you want to do is check out what the deadline is at your college, and just make sure you're meeting that, because that's usually the earliest deadline that you have. And so what I would just say is every time a new FAFSA comes out, if you're planning to go to school that following year, you want to make sure to file it.
Thank you for that. We have one more question about the FAFSA. I guess two questions. First one, is it too late to file for the FAFSA? And then if we file the FAFSA as soon as it opens, do we have a higher chance of getting more money?
Okay, two really great questions. So it is not too late to file the FAFSA. So if you are looking for money for college for fall 2024, spring 2025, you can still file the FAFSA and you can still get money for college. Now, in terms of timing, if you file the FAFSA as soon as it opens, you have a higher chance of getting more money. So a lot of times you hear financial aid is first come, first serve, which is true. And so you do want to file it sooner rather than later. It makes it so you can ensure that you're not missing any deadlines, and you're able to fix any mistakes in your FAFSA, and you're not sort of trying to fix something on one night when it's due the following night. And you have time to sort of make sure everything is right. Also, a lot of scholarships are going to ask for some information from the FAFSA, and so you'll have that ready to go. And so in a lot of different ways, filing the FAFSA as early as possible is really beneficial for you, and it allows room for if there is a mistake or additional information required, so you can follow up with the college.
All right, yeah, file your FAFSA, do it early, get it out of the way, guys. Just get it out of the way.
So, Kim, I just wanted to note, you said set financial goals, which I think was a really important piece. And for me, one of the things I like to think about for myself when I was in college, it was just really understanding, like, how much money do I have coming in and how much money is going out each week or each month, so that I'm ready. Like, I understand how much money I need to earn to meet whatever the costs are of me being a college student. It really made me a lot more comfortable as a student.
Right. Even in college, I had some of the most basic financial goals. When I first got some of my jobs, it was just like save $400, like just any type of financial goal that can help you start saving up and get anywhere. I think those are always super helpful.
Yes, definitely. And I know that now with Shop, there are many ways to save your money. I've seen like some budgeting books where you're able to put in $20 a day, $1 a day, and eventually they do add up. And so that's something that I learned is also very important. And I know as a college student, it's so difficult to save, but having the ability to build up that habit and save money for a rainy day has really helped me. Personally, an app that I use is called Digit. Or actually, I think they changed their name. I think they changed their name to Opportune, but it's either Digit or Opportune. That's what it was called. And basically, you can just download the app on your phone and you can set different financial goals that you want. So, for example, you can save money for a rainy day. You can save money for books. You can save money for exams, whatever it is that you may be looking forward to saving money. And that's actually the first step that I took in working towards my master's degree, which was creating, like little goals. Like, this is money that I'm eventually going to pull out for my books. This is money that I'm eventually going to pull out for when I end up taking that test, that entrance exam. And so setting those goals helps you, and you're able to set the amount of money that you want to save, how often it's going to take money out of your checkings account, and it's just a really opportune. Yes, thank you, Marie. So yeah, it's a really helpful app, and I share it with all of my friends because genuinely it's something that's helped me. And for some reason, say I'm like running low on money, I always have my rainy day on my app that I don't even have to think about because it's there in my savings. So it's helped me a lot.
Absolutely.
Danny asked, what if you have no idea how much your books will cost yet? That's a really great question, because sometimes it definitely varies. But I just kind of set like a general goal. So I put either $400 aside for my books. And I don't necessarily have to use all of that money, but it's just a wide goal that I have. And say I set it over the course of 6 months. Over the course of 6 months, I'll save those $400 or whatever the case may be. You're able to pause and continue your goals as many or as long as you want. So I think just generally saving whatever you feel is a good amount. It's a great place.
I think the other thing to note is once you register for classes, you might be able to get access to the syllabus if a professor has posted it, and you can actually see what books are listed on the syllabus. And so you can start to get a sense. And the earlier you know, that means like you can like search other places because you have more time to get them. So you can look on Amazon, you can look on thrift books, places like that, where they might have more affordable options. Because I found in my experience, the most expensive place to buy books is the college bookstore, but it is really convenient when you need the books right away. So definitely paying attention to that in regards to sort of when you get access to that syllabus, dig in and see what books are required.
And touching a little bit more on the topic of books, I actually had a friend in college in my bachelor's. He was an English literature major, believe it or not. And we were in our 3rd year, and he had never once purchased a book for school. And I was like, how are you an English literature major and you've never purchased a book? Like, how have we gone so far? You're almost graduating. You've never purchased a book for school. And he just found his ways. So one way was definitely going to the library, and sometimes they have one master copy of whatever book it is, and you're able to print out pages and copy the book so that it won't cost you a thing. That is true, though, that it's only one master copy, at least in my experience. So it is difficult when you have a class of 60, 100 students trying to get a hold of that master copy. But again, like the bookstore is the most convenient option. So if you're willing to go that extra mile to make sure that you get your hand on that one copy, it can definitely make the difference of $100, $300 sometimes when it comes to books. And you'll see that making friends is going to be also very helpful. And you guys could split the bill on the books, or simply share a book, and that will save you a lot.
Yeah. I saw Carmel also say, I heard you can find textbooks online. Is that true? Yes, you can. There's so many different ways to find textbooks now. I always recommend people to look either used or to rent as their first options. I always typically like to rent just because you just have it for a little set amount of time, you return it, and you don't have to think about it again, think about selling it to other people or anything like that. So I highly recommend renting to people who can afford that, and it's a lot cheaper.
I do want to flag one thing for renting textbooks and stuff like that. Sometimes the classes require like an online code and things like that you might have to buy separately. And so just important to sort of, renting is awesome. I rented books all the time. I also bought used books. I rarely bought new books, but just knowing what the expectation is in the class in regards to what you need from that book, because if you rent a book or buy a book used, that code for the online portion might not be usable anymore because someone already used it. And so I'm just understanding what that cost is as well.
Yes, it's very important. The codes, I think, is the tricky part as a college student. It's the way they get you, but it's not impossible to find affordable ways to get a hold of some books. I know George asked, what are some good websites to buy cheap books? So I think Amazon was definitely one of my go-tos, and they actually let you rent on Amazon too. So you don't have to buy the book on Amazon. Sometimes your bookstore will have the opportunity to rent as well, your college bookstore, and check books. It was also super helpful for me. And we just linked a resource that we put together of where you can find affordable college textbooks. So I definitely check that out. There's so many resources on our Get Schooled website that will, definitely come in handy.
Yeah, check out that resource. Is Chegg still a good website? Yes, Chegg is great for students. Another way, if you want to search up cheap textbooks online, is just grab that ISBN code, put it into Google, and you can just see what all the prices are for those. They'll show you all the renting options as well as if you want to buy new or used. But I recommend, yeah, if you guys are looking for books, just grab that ISBN code and go to Google. It's probably going to be your best search engine.
Yes, definitely. And I love the engagement we're having in the chat. If you are a little too shy to maybe ask some questions publicly, just remember that you can text hashtag FAFSA Live to 335577, and we will also be taking the time to answer all your questions there. So definitely continue to text us in the chat and through our text line. We're always happy to help. And if in the future, once you start school, you have any questions about textbooks, we're also happy to help you.
All right, we are. Let's do a couple more tips. Let's do maybe one from each of us, and then we can kind of wrap up. Someone on Instagram said, rv.mino said, "Thank you for Get Schooled for my scholarship a couple years back. Shout out to you. Thank you for applying to our scholarships. Appreciate that you guys are joining in the chat and participating. So yeah, welcome back and congrats on that scholarship a few years back." All right, let's get back into the tips. I think it was my turn. So let's see. We said rent, set financial goals, file your FAFSA. Another one that I could go with is look for student discounts. When you're in college, you get so many student discounts. I think Brendan touched on it earlier. You can get like Apple discounts. You can look on, I think it's called Student Bean, is one that has a bunch of different student discounts. Yeah, student discounts are always great. Keep your ID with you all the time. If you go to like the movie theaters, sometimes they give you discounts for the movies. They also have specific days for that too. I don't know. Any other student discounts that you guys used back then?
Yes, definitely one is your local public library. This is something that I didn't know, but it's open to everybody. So not only students, but it's a great way to save. And I just recently started, taking up those resources from my library. I hadn't been there since I was like in 6th grade, but it's a great resource that are available to students. I definitely print there sometimes when I don't have the chance to go to campus and it's closer to me. But you also get access to a lot of fun things like national parks and pretty much any great like local attractions to your city, to your county. It's definitely something to take advantage of.
Yeah, what my advice would be, just anywhere you go, just ask if they have a student discount. I used to work at Chipotle, and this was years ago. Once again, this was years ago, and they had a student discount. And so I don't want to say they have it now, but we used to give a student discount when students showed their student ID. And so you never know. Some places, just because they're in a college town or right near a college, might just offer a student discount, but they don't normally do it elsewhere. And so it can't hurt to ask, what's the worst they can say? No. And then you go, okay, well, I was here anyway to buy something at the normal price, but you might be able to save some money.
Thank you for clarifying, Brendan, because I was going to walk up into Chipotle and say, Brendan said that you were going to give me a student discount. So
let's be clear. This was a long time ago.
Make sure you pull your camera and record them too.
Yeah.
I know, right? Because I know that they've been getting a little stingy with the bowls. They haven't been filling up. So I'm going to say, I think you guys should bring that student discount back.
We can do a whole nother Yappin Bout about Chipotle with me at another time, right? I could fill up probably an hour with Yappin Bout Chipotle. I see some really great discounts in the chat, though. I think from Carmel and George. They're sharing some really important places like Target, Adobe Photoshop, and all those other things. I think there's some awesome ideas in the chat. So thanks for sharing those.
Yes. Also, those subscription services, Spotify, Netflix, HBO, I think they also all have student discounts. So if you guys don't have those yet, those are a great one to plug into.
All right. Let me share one of our next tips. Use financial aid money wisely. And the reason why I want to share this is sometimes you get refund checks from the financial aid office. And so you get a whole bunch of money all at once. But the reality is you need that money to last you the whole semester. And so it goes back to like sort of making sure have like those financial goals, you know what your budget is, things like that, so that you can make sure that you have money that lasts you the full semester. And you're not, it can be really tempting to be like, well, I've got a bunch of money in my account, I'm just going to go get this. I would say just approach that cautiously, make sure that you have the money you need to cover the costs of doing what you need to do as a student.
Yeah, don't use all your money on a concert ticket, guys.
I know one too many people that use their money to go see Post Malone back in the day, and I was like, that's not how to use it.
All right, V also asked, related to your question, how do you get the refund check?
That's a great question. It's going to vary by school. And so some schools will actually, so it's basically like if you get more financial aid than what tuition and fees, and then if you live on campus, housing and meals costs, they're going to give you some of that financial aid money back in a refund check. Some schools will actually give you a physical check. Others will do a direct deposit into your bank account if you've linked that up. What you'll want to do is connect with the financial aid office to see like, what do I need to do? And how do you want to get your refund check? And so let's say you like to go in person to the bank and deposit a paper check, and your bank's not nearby, you might want to get that as a direct deposit instead into your bank account. But there can be a few different options.
Nice.
Yes, definitely. And if you're having trouble on how to use your refund money wisely, we just added a resource where you can learn how to set up a budget. And just asking for myself, I'm definitely going to be looking that up later, because even in your adult life, you'll definitely going to need to know how to budget. And it's a skill that's going to pretty much carry with you until the rest of your life. So it's very important to build up those habits starting now. And us at Get School, we're so happy to be a part of your journey to make sure that we can all build those skills and succeed together.
I do see that some folks were confused about a refund check. I'm happy I clarified that. If you get a refund check, that's money to you that you can use for other like educational expenses and stuff. So I'm happy to clarify that. Kim, are you going to take us back with one last tip?
Yes, definitely. So one last tip is to start building your credit early. I think that's super important. I know with my Latino parents, they were always like, do not get a credit card, do not. But it's very important, you'll see, to learn how to build credit wisely. And that was definitely a big step for me. I know it's very scary in the financial world to take that jump. But for me, even now I'm, learning to educate myself and learning to educate myself among my peers. So it's definitely scary, but we're here to help. Again, you can text #FAFSA Live to 3335577 if you have any questions. And we have other resources on how to understand what credit is and how to build it. You'll see that our Get Schooled website is filled. It's a treasure chest of all things students and all things young adults. So we're really just here to help and learn with you along the process as well. We have our amazing friend Brendan, who is so knowledgeable and so willing to help.
I do want to add that a lot of campuses have like financial wellness offices and people who focus on that. And so as you're thinking about like, how do I set myself up for the future? Or like, I'm not sure I know about all this finance stuff, check to see if campus has any resources for you. Because there's a lot of groups, or there might be some like clubs that focus on this where you can learn a lot and start to explore things that way as you get more interested. And I agree with Kim, building your credit is so important for the future. And so really starting to navigate that and understand how it can impact you and how you can do that the right way is so important.
Yes, and to Brendan's point, take advantage of all the campus resources. Take advantage of everything, guys, from the tutoring center, college and career center. Go get your resume fixed up for free. Take advantage of all those resources on campus. You guys are paying for it as part of your tuition. Use as much of it as you can while you're there.
Yes, definitely. And on that note, definitely check out your campus's food bank. I know it's there, and there's just so much food available, like fruit and just food available to college students that doesn't cost a thing. So it's definitely important. And I know one of the biggest things that I spend on, and so do my friends, is eating out. So definitely do your best as a college student to not eat out. Even as a young adult, it's so easy to eat out because it's so accessible, sometimes cheaper. We're like, we don't have the time or like knowledge on how to cook, but you'll see that it's such a great skill to learn as a young adult, and you're going to pretty much need it to survive. So it's better to start learning at some point. And while you're a college student, take advantage of food banks at your local campus.
Yeah, use all your benefits on campus, guys. All right, well, we are going to wind down now. Shout out Brendan for joining us today on all this cash for college financial topics. Thank you for all your insight. But before we leave, we do have a giveaway. We have two $200 gift cards that we got to give out to some of our audience that participated. So, Kim, you want to announce the winners this time?
Yes, let's do it. Can you give me a drum roll, please? Thank you. Our two winners for today are Carmel and George.
Woo! Congrats, you guys. Yeah, shout out to you guys for coming in, participating in the chat. You guys were active throughout. So shout out to you guys. Appreciate it so much. Carmel, you said I want to stay on my fitness goal and eat a lot of protein, but I have an unlimited food plan. Any tips on that? Sorry, last one. Kim, do you have any tips on that?
Carmel, I'm learning to navigate that myself. I'm learning to navigate that myself, because sometimes, like, even if I'm not hungry and there's food there and it looks good, I'm gonna eat it. But definitely, I would say focus on your fitness. At least for me, it not only helps me be less sluggish when I'm in class, because I know if I eat a lot of fatty foods and a lot of foods that don't contain protein and I don't work out, I'm in class very tired, very sluggish. Whereas if I feed myself with healthy nutrients and get my workout, it not only helps my mind but my body as well. So that's definitely one tip that I would encourage.
Yeah, good one.
But thank you for our winners. You guys will receive a confirmation via text to claim your prize, so be sure that you fill that out.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us today. Quick reminder to go file your FAFSA. That's the easiest way for you to get some cash for college. Apply to scholarships and go check out Get Schooled's current scholarship, which is the Financial Aid Completion Scholarship, which ends in 2 days. Go apply to it because you guys can get another $5,000 for college.
Yes, and to my winners, please spend your money wisely. We're definitely going to be giving away more prizes in the lives to come, so definitely stick around, chat, and we can't wait to see you.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys all for joining.
Yes, thank you,
Thanks for
Brendan.
having me. Bye, everyone.